Hi, everybody. Welcome to Friday's Focus on Finances, our first one of 2022. My name is Jamie Fleming, and today we're going to talk about when it comes to your financial plan, why you can't or shouldn't solely trust a computer. So, I recently read a financial article by another CFP, and she was talking about how even though she runs marathons, her EKG erroneously showed she was having a heart attack. Keep this in mind when it's time for your financial checkup. Don't rely solely on financial models created by software. In this CFP's experience, it came during her annual physical exam, and the doctor took her vitals, reviewed her medical records, and after reading her EKG results, said, "Well, the computer says you're having a heart attack," but the computer was wrong. She's in her 40s, runs marathons, and her heart rate is extremely low. So after reading the EKG, the doctor went to work. She asked her several questions, reviewed prior data and her medical history. After doing her research, she overruled the machine. This actually reminded me of my own medical encounter where the machines and software were simply incorrect. I was also 40 and 37 weeks pregnant with twins. And despite being on bed rest early on in my pregnancy, I always had very low blood pressure. My heart rate was always very low, and I didn't have any of the other high risk situations common for someone who's pregnant with twins. However, during a regular checkup at 37 weeks, I was told that Isabella didn't have enough embryonic fluid, so they're going to induce labor. Now, mind you, I felt absolutely fine, aside from the fact of having 3 feet and 11 pounds of babies inside me. However, when they broke her water, there was clearly plenty of fluid. Now, all turned out okay, but this computer/software error created an unnecessary situation without a moment's notice. The same situation can apply to people looking to establish a financial plan or reviewing their current plan. Without the right data and appropriate questions, even a financial plan using the most sophisticated software to create a financial model can give you an answer that just isn't reality. January is when many people review their portfolios and update their financial goals for the year. Because of the stock market's performance in 2021, investors who own stocks have seen their net worth rise. Some people are worth more today than ever before. This can make their financial plan appear very strong or cause some to think they don't need to revise their plan for the coming year. But has the next bear market been factored into your current plan? What about personal or family changes, such as job relocation on the horizon, potential tax rate increases, or the prospect of buying a second home? All of these life changes can have a major impact on one's financial strategy, questions that a computer model isn't likely to ask. When it comes to financial planning, the data inputs are critically important as well as answers to these questions. A financial advisor should be asking a wide variety of questions to make the model work better for your individual situation. So, as you review your plan in January, here are some key questions and recommendations to consider. First, is your portfolio still invested correctly to match your goals? When you develop your financial plan, one goal is almost always to become financially independent and to retire comfortably when the time comes. With the market's growth in recent years, many people may reach that goal sooner than expected. However, the 3 strong positive years of stock market growth we've recently seen won't continue forever. Investors should not assume last year's portfolio returns will be the norm going forward. Instead, they should rebalance their portfolio to build in the appropriate level of stocks and bonds to match their current retirement time horizon. A portfolio that is overly aggressive can have a sharp downturn in the next bear market, and retirement security can be thrown off course. Determine if your portfolio is invested correctly for your retirement time horizon. And if that time horizon has changed, either shorter or longer, make sure your financial plan is modified to accommodate that new time horizon. The next question you always want to ask is what has changed? If your financial plan assumptions were made that may no longer be true, this can incredibly throw off the numbers and make you feel more financially stable than you actually are. So you want to make sure you factor in any changes that you have already happened or that you anticipate happening. So some of these things may be, were you planning to buy a vacation home only to realize now your price point has to be much higher? The current real estate market continues to be hot. So buying or building costs are higher than you may have factored in several years ago when you put the goal in place. Were you planning on 4 years of college expenses for your children, with one now enrolling in medical school? Did you receive a nice promotion at work and now your income trajectory is skyrocketing? For my business owners, many of my business owners have increased their revenue significantly. And without tax planning, this could throw a wrench in their tax liability on the business side as well as the personal side. Will higher tax rates have an impact on your plan? All these changes need to be considered so that your plan continues to stay on course while having a real sense of what your financial future looks like. An up-to-date financial plan can bring much more clarity when big financial decisions need to be made. The next thing you want to factor in is who is counting on you for financial support. 10 years ago, everyone in your family may have been healthy. Now there could be an aging parent who needs financial support to pay healthcare costs. You may have a sibling with children who may not be able to afford to pay for their own college tuition, and you want to help. If this is the case and you're willing to help, study your options and work with a financial advisor to determine how much money is available to help your loved ones, and make certain you understand the impact to your own personal retirement plan. Most computer models will not be asking you these types of questions. Next, what are your plans for retirement living? What will they cost? Many individuals have dreamt of using their retirement to travel the world. Now, if that time is here, determine how often you would like to travel annually and what it will cost. Others are planning to move to a warmer climate in another state, which will involve selling and buying a home, moving costs, and other expenses. What's the cost of living in the state you plan to retire in versus where you're living now? What about state income taxes and property taxes? Housing expenses can take a large bite out of your personal nest egg. So figure out the cost of these moves before making any big decisions. And then finally, this is probably one of the more critical pieces of the puzzle. What keeps you up at night? When asking clients this question, the answer isn't always related to money. A response I hear often is, I'm worried about taking care of my parents and my kids at the same time that I'm juggling my own business. Another common response is, if something happens to me, does my spouse or significant other know how to carry on managing the household? Sometimes it helps clients to talk through these concerns and hear stories of how other people have managed through similar life events. As a financial advisor over the last 30 years, I have a diverse set of experiences in walking through life with different clients, which can help in developing an unbiased perspective to share with clients that have similar concerns. Of course, money is a normal concern. What if this bull market ends too soon, or are we headed for a major crash? Do we have enough to cover our healthcare needs in retirement? This is where financial modeling incorporating probability analysis can provide some additional peace of mind. Knowing you've run the numbers and worked through various scenarios can allow you to sleep better at night. Life doesn't happen in a straight line, as most of us know. Taking the time to review and update your financial plan for recent changes, plus thinking through changes to come, is a good way to keep your financial strategy in check. Use the new year as a time to complete your financial checkup. Ask yourself the right questions and don't rely solely on a computer. You want to make sure you're modifying your plan as life changes occur so that everything is working towards that ultimate goal of financial security. If you want to see how these strategies can work for you, take advantage of our complimentary consultation. We would love to talk with you and help you reach all the financial goals that you have set for yourself. Thanks, everyone. Happy New Year, and we will see you next week on Friday's Focus on Finances.